the Minnesota Vikings surprisingly have a lot of talent on their team, but they don't have any playmakers and not many playmakers on both sides of the ball. When I look at their defense is very good, and I really like what they have there. They just need a guy that can possibly maybe force some turnovers here and there. Or offensively, they can hopefully get Adrian Peterson, who hopefully is healthy, and then they probably will need another receiver. Because I look at Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs isn't that great of a playmaker. They have to force him the ball. Now, I think a guy he was rumored to be traded was Antonio Brown. And obviously, that's definitely a guy that they definitely should go after, obviously. And when I look at Kyle Rudolph's mostly a blocker. And now, what really concerns me about the Vikings is, yes, Sam Bradford's now is his second year in Minnesota's system, and he actually did not have a terrible year. But he's more of a game managing kind of quarterback, and you just don't have any playmakers like on both sides of the ball. I mean, on defense, you just don't have a really big scoring threat, a turnover threat. You name it. They need something right there. And in this draft, there is a lot of good wide receivers. And also, there's probably a good running back that you should probably draft. So just in case that Adrian Peterson isn't ready to go, because even the beginning of the season, he wasn't even all that impressive. Now, yes, it was 2 games in one game and a quarter, but at the same time, though, that team was built to run the football, and they should just put a backup running back to either Adrian Peterson to mentor or a running back that could possibly take some reps here and there. So maybe you could preserve Peterson, or let's just say Peterson's not performing well, you can put him into the game. That's definitely a priority and something that you should go after. Now, mostly receivers you should load up. On the defensive side of the ball, I love Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes. I really think they can do something. I know Captain Munderland, Terrence Newen. I forget. It's one of those guys. Very old, and you could possibly part ways with him. But they're actually still not half bad players, so you could just resign him, and he could be a very cheap option. But if you really want to possibly get a playmaker, there is Marshawn Lattimore, in which you could trade up for. But at the same time, though, you really don't have a pick, and it'll be kind of hard to trade. Now, your only playmaker is Cordell Patterson, and he's a kickoff returner. And usually, kickoff returners either don't get that many return touchdowns, and it's really hard to be a scoring team. So defensively, I feel like it will be a lot easier to incorporate a guy that can get turnovers, to get interceptions, force fumbles, and you name it. And I love Anthony Barr. I love Kendricks. I love that defense. I love how that team's built. But they just need to make freaking plays. And so get a pass rusher possibly. I know there could be some. Ezekiel Ansah might be available. And it's not like you have a bad pass rush. It's just like the Vikings are known for having great pass rushers in the past, like great D-line help. You look at John Randall was there. If you look at the Purple People Eaters, hell, you had Jared Allen. I just look at that. Maybe you should look at some pass rushers. I know Chandler Jones could be available, and that's one of the things. So when I look at the Vikings and all of that, I really like their team, and they are actually close to being a juggernaut in the NFC. I'm not kidding you. The NFC, the juggernauts, what I mean by the juggernauts, the ones that have buys, it's interchangeable every year. It feels like there's a new person that's getting a buy every single time. In the AFC, it's mostly been the Patriots or the Broncos. Or maybe the Steelers sneak in there one year. It's basically the AFC is more consistent, while the NFC, they're interchanging different powers. Look at the Panthers. Went from a team that was 15-1 to a team that's 6-10. That's something you can look at. And I think the Vikings could be that team. And I really believe that if they just make a couple moves and just get a couple of playmakers, that team is going to be a threat.